Are you new to Keystone Lake and trying to figure out the best boat ramps, beaches, and riding areas? Or maybe you already ride here and looking for new places to explore? Well, today, I'm showing you Keystone Lake from the perspective of a lifelong local and Sea-Doo rider. And in this video, I'm also giving away my free Keystone Lake quick guide, including a map with all the important locations around the lake. Boat ramps, party beaches, riding areas, fuel stops, restaurants, to hidden smooth water coves, to sunset rides, to 125-mile-per-hour jet boats on Thursday nights. This might honestly be one of the best lakes in Oklahoma for jet skis and boating. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where to launch, where to ride, where to beach, and how to get the most out of Keystone Lake. And if you want the free Keystone Lake quick guide, check the link down in the description. Before we get too deep into Keystone Lake itself, I want to quickly show you the ski I'm riding in this video. This is my 2026 Sea-Doo 325 RXTX in Gulfstream Blue. And honestly, this thing is almost perfect for a lake like Keystone. One thing I really love about this ski here is just how quickly you can get around the lake. Growing up, I remember crossing Keystone in slower pontoon boats, and it felt like it took forever. Now, with this thing running close to 78 miles per hour with the SCOM upgrade, I can get from one side of the lake to the other ridiculously fast. I've also added a few upgrades that make this ski way better for lake riding. The SCOM raises the top speed, I added a boarding ladder because it didn't come with one, and I upgraded the stereo with the JetWorks audio system. The huge touchscreen is awesome for navigation and tracking your ride. There's plenty of storage for long days on the lake, and because Keystone has so many sandy beach areas, this ski is super easy to pull up and park almost anywhere. But enough about the Sea-Doo, let me show you the lake I grew up on. I actually grew up right here in Manford, Oklahoma, in the southwest side of Keystone Lake. My family spent summers out here almost every year growing up, so this lake has always felt like home to me. This photo right here is my mom and her sisters skiing on Keystone back in the 1980s, long before I ever started riding Sea-Doos. And this picture was taken when I was really young, right here at Party Beach, which is honestly crazy because it's still one of the same places I hang out today. I've spent years boating, swimming, riding jet skis, and exploring this lake. So in this video, I want to show you Keystone Lake from both perspectives, as somebody who grew up here and as somebody who still rides here all the time today. So now that you know a little about me, let's talk about Keystone Lake itself. Keystone Lake was built in 1964 by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers after they completed Keystone Dam. And even today, there are still old roads, sidewalks, and concrete structures sitting underneath parts of the lake. The water feeding Keystone mainly comes from the Arkansas River and the Cimarron River. Now, if you're not from Oklahoma, one thing you'll probably notice right away is the water color. A lot of people from other states say the water looks muddy, but around here, it honestly just looks normal to us. Most of that color comes from the red clay sediment floating down through the Cimarron River. And honestly, when the sunlight hits the water at sunset, Keystone can look absolutely beautiful, especially inside some of the protected coves where the water gets incredibly smooth. And considering we're roughly 10 hours away from the nearest ocean, Keystone gives people around here an amazing place to boat, fish, swim, ride jet skis, relax on the beaches, and even ride ATVs and side-by-sides nearby. So now that you know a little about Keystone Lake, let's start with probably the most important thing for anybody bringing a boat or jet ski out here, the best boat ramps around the lake. One thing about Keystone Lake is there are a lot of different places to launch depending on what type of day you're wanting to have. So in this section, I'm going to show you some of the main ramps I personally use or recommend around Keystone Lake. The first location is the New Manford Ramp. This is probably one of the most popular and busiest boat ramps on the southwest side of Keystone Lake. It's located just north of the stoplight in Manford, and it's one of my personal favorite ramps for launching a Sea-Doo. One huge benefit here is that it's completely free to launch and park. This area actually has a few different ramps. There's one section mainly used by campers, but the main ramp area off to the left side when you pull in is where most people launch. You've got 3 boat ramps here, a huge parking lot, and a really nice dock setup that makes loading and unloading much easier. For Sea-Doos especially, having a good dock setup makes a huge difference because you don't have to rush while parking your truck. Now on busy summer weekends, this parking lot fills up fast. And one thing I will say, be careful where you park. Boat trailers get packed in really tight, and it's really easy to end up with scratches or dings if people aren't paying attention. If you continue further north through the parking lot, it connects over to Harbor Marina. That area has fuel access, a restaurant, and other marina amenities, which is nice if you're planning to spend the entire day on the lake. The next location is Appalachia Bay. This is probably the ramp I personally use the most. One reason is because it's extremely easy to access right off Highway 412. You don't have to drive through town or back through neighborhoods, so getting in and out is usually pretty simple. This location does charge for entry. It's $5 per visit, or you can buy an annual pass for around $40, which is what I've done the last few years. The setup here is solid. You've got a double boat ramp, a nice dock, and the launch process is usually pretty smooth. The parking lot here isn't quite as large as Manford. One of the biggest advantages to Appalachia Bay is the location. This is probably the closest major launch point to Party Beach. Once you leave the cove, you head south for a few miles and you're basically there. So if your goal is hanging out around the main boating areas, Party Beach, or the busier sections of the lake, this is one of the best launch spots. The next boat ramp is Keystone State Park. This area has multiple boat ramps, a fair amount of parking, and several different access points depending on water levels and traffic. They also have additional amenities nearby, including a restaurant and boat rentals, which makes this area feel a little more family-oriented. One thing to know before launching here is parking is paid. There are signs near the ramps where you can scan your phone to pay. What makes this location really nice is the positioning on the lake. This ramp gives you very quick access toward the dam area, the northern side of the lake, or back around toward the main peninsula. So if you're wanting to explore more of the lake instead of heading directly toward Party Beach, this is a really good central launch location. The next location is Yogi Bear Marina. Now personally, I don't launch from here very often, but if you have kids, this place is actually a really good setup. They've got a huge pool area with slides, a floating playground area in the water, marine access, and several family-focused activities all in one spot. They do charge more compared to some of the other ramps around the lake, but you're also paying for all the extra amenities. So if you're trying to mix together boating, swimming, and activities for the kids, this is probably one of the better family destinations on the lake. Now those are just a few of the main ramps around Keystone Lake. There are also several other really popular launch spots I didn't fully cover in this video. Places like Salt Creek, Washington Irving South, right off of Highway 412, which gives you access to the northern side of the lake, and there are several more boat ramps further north around the lake. One thing I really like about Keystone is you can launch in completely different areas and have a totally different experience depending on where you start your day. But once you finally get out on the water, this is where Keystone Lake really starts to shine. So let me show you some of the main riding areas, beaches, and hangout locations around the lake from the perspective of somebody that's been riding here for years. The most popular gathering spot on the lake is what locals call Party Beach. During busy summer weekends, you'll find boats, sea-doos, pontoons, and wake boats gathered all around this area. Some people anchor offshore, some pull up on the beach, and others spend the entire afternoon swimming and relaxing with friends and family. I've been coming out here for most of my life, and it's still one of the first places I think of when someone mentions Keystone Lake. If you're enjoying this review and want to see more Oklahoma lake reviews, make sure you hit subscribe. I've already got plans to cover Grand Lake, Skiatook, Lake Murray, and even Lake Tahoe later this summer. One thing that really separates Keystone from a lot of other Oklahoma lakes is the number of sandy beaches and sandbars. For Sea-Doo owners especially, that's a huge advantage. There are plenty of places where you can pull up, relax, swim, eat lunch, or just take a break from riding. The only thing to watch out for is depth. Some sandbars extend much further than they appear, so always slow down when approaching unfamiliar areas. One main sandbar to avoid extends off the end of Houseboat Island. Make sure and drive at least a few hundred feet around Houseboat Island to get to the other side. If you're planning a long day on the water, it's always a good idea to start with a full tank of gas. There are currently 2 fuel locations directly on the lake. One is Harbor Marina on the southwest side near Manford, and the other is located over at Keystone State Park. That said, fuel prices on the water are usually higher, so I typically fill up before I launch. If you're coming in from the east, there's a Conoco station located right off Highway 412, about a mile east of Keystone Dam. And if you're launching from the Manford area, there's a fuel station right at the stoplight in town. Now let's talk about one of the most unique things that happens on Keystone Lake. Something most people outside this area have probably never heard of, Jet Boat Thursday. Every Thursday evening during the summer, performance boat owners start gathering near Party Beach and the surrounding area. Some of these boats are capable of well over 125 miles per hour. As the evening goes on, drivers take turns making high-speed passes while spectators gather to watch. It's becoming one of the coolest lake boating traditions on the lake. One thing most people try to do is keep the water smooth around the run area. These boats need calm water to safely make those high-speed passes. Most people are really respectful about it, and that's one of the reasons the event continues to work so well. But if you're looking for the complete opposite experience, there's another area of the lake that my family has been visiting for years. Growing up, we always called this area Dry Lake. It's a protected cove that tends to stay calmer than a lot of the main lake. It's a great place for relaxing, swimming, tubing, or just getting away from the crowds. And during sunset, this can easily become one of the most beautiful places anywhere on Keystone Lake. Now let's take a quick look at some of the restaurant options around Keystone Lake. The first is Capsized at Harbor Marina near Manford. This is probably one of the most convenient waterfront restaurants on the lake, and it's a popular stop for boaters throughout the summer. Another option is Wynn's on the Water, located at Keystone State Park. It's a great place to stop for food, enjoy the view, and take a break from the water. And if you're willing to make a short drive, Cap's Steakhouse, just off Highway 51, has been a Lake Keystone favorite for years. If you plan on docking at any of these locations, especially on busy summer weekends, make sure you have good dock bumpers to protect your boat or Sea-Doo. I use the dock bumpers linked on my gear and accessories page in the description, and they've saved me from plenty of scratches this year. And one quick tip, be especially careful at the dock near Caps on busy days. Unlike docks inside protected coves, this one is more exposed to boat traffic and waves, so conditions can get rough when the lake is crowded. So after spending most of my life around Keystone Lake, what do I think about it today? For me personally, it's still one of the best all-around lakes in Oklahoma for sea-doos and recreational boating. You've got multiple boat ramps, sandy beaches, hidden coves, great riding areas, fuel access, family-friendly destinations, and a boating culture that's unique to this lake. And if you'd like a copy of my free Keystone Lake Quick Guide, with all the locations featured in this video, including boat ramps, beaches, fuel stops, and key riding areas, check out the link in the description below. This is just the first lake review of many. So if you'd like to see reviews of Grand Lake, Skiatook, Lake Murray, and even Lake Tahoe later this summer, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.